What's up, folks? BCSG in the man cave. For those of you who have been following me on Instagram, or at least following my Insta stories, you would probably have seen a little snippet of me shopping for furniture to refurnish my man cave. For those of you who have been with me for a while on the channel, if you remember, I did a video once featuring my man cave, and well, I put a short clip in about right now. Yeah, so that's my man cave. Here's what it looks like now. There's no particular reason as to why. I mean, I guess as the years go by, at one point I had something like, 9 fish tanks in the man cave. It's 2 6 feet, 1 4 feet, which is behind me. I had 8 aquariums in my man cave, and that just got between all the stuff I have going on in my life right now, maintaining 8 aquariums is just a little bit much. So what I did was I decommissioned the 4 smaller ones, which is 2 2 feet tanks and 2 3 feet tanks. I decommissioned those. I kept the planted tank, which is the one behind me. Or if you guys noticed from that panning shot that I did earlier, or at least some of you may have noticed that there's something missing from that tank. And yeah, the PBs that I had inside are missing. And all I'm going to say is they're in a better place right now, on to bigger and better things. But anyway, I've replaced them with sabarals, as you can see. I put an Oscar in there, and his name is Patches, by the way. So we called him Patches, and he used to be a really nice Oscar. Now he's kind of nipping at everyone. It's a good thing that sabarals are really fast. Or sabarals, for those of you who are interested in English names, unofficial English name in Southeast Asia, we call them jungle perch. There are many kinds of jungle perch all over the world, but when you talk about jungle perch in Southeast Asia, you're generally referring to the sabarals. And they're native to Southeast Asia, but pretty much extinct in Singapore for various reasons. Anyway, enough about the tank. We're here talking about the man cave, right? Alright, so here's what it looks like now. I actually had these 2 sections already prior to this, so really all I did was I bought this 3rd section and stuck it together, and then I shifted everything from that side of the room to this side of the room. This actually used to be a balcony, which I have taken over because no one's using the balcony in this house. Might as well shift the man cave here, kind of get out of everyone else's way, because my fishing equipment was just all over the place. My rod racks were everywhere, and Mrs. BCSG has her own things as well, and I didn't want to be taking up too much space. I've already taken up more than enough space with my aquariums and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's all pretty well organized. These are just my little storage bins for hooks and weights and snaps and all of that. Got my some of my lures, and generally the lures that I display here are the ones that I don't use anymore. It's not that I don't use that specific kind of lure. Maybe I have multiple copies of the same lure. Maybe I have China knockoffs of the Japanese lure as well. Most of the ones here are the originals. And of course there's some cheaper ones there as well. But anyway, now up there, well, that's my telescopic rods. I figured my collection of telescopic rods is getting bigger and larger, and I might as well give it a dedicated area section on its own for display purposes. And it's pretty accessible, it's easy for me to reach. Really, almost everything here is either gotten from Q10, Taobao, or IKEA. So it's pretty inexpensive. The lure racks, they're not exactly lure racks, they're actually towel racks that I bought from IKEA. It's like $6 each. Metal towel racks, and I figured that they have that little crossbar, right there, and that would work really well as a lure rack. And I use the exact same racks for my telescopic rods because that rack has 2 hooks below. And that's just right for me to put my telescopic rods, as you can see. So these are not all my telescopic rods. I have 3 more. One doesn't fit in there, but it doesn't really matter because that one's pretty much in my bag at all times. And I have one more in storage, and that's a really old telescopic. It's a Daiwa as well, but it's a really old one that I don't use anymore. So I have 1 or 2 in storage. So anyway, yeah. So this is that plaque. I think I posted on my Instagram when I was in Florida. I posted a hand-drawn version of my name. Well, I liked it so much that I went back to the artist and told the artist to do a BCSG one, and that's it right there. And that's sitting right below my reel display cabinets. Now, this is an actual reel display, meaning I don't use the reels in there anymore. Of course, this whole thing is flanked by rod racks, and these are not the only rod racks I have. I do have a whole rack of rods sitting right behind, right over there. That, well, maybe, here's a picture. Alright, so enough of the man cave, I think. There's really that much I can talk about the man cave. What I'm going to do for today's video, I know that it's been like, a week since I've uploaded videos. A few things, I'm not feeling well. If I sound a bit stuffed up, I haven't been feeling well the last few days. I've been kind of busy throughout the week. I did get to fish, but I didn't get to get much usable footage. So yeah, so I thought today, rather than giving you a fishing video, I'm gonna do a what's in my bag video. And kind of like a BCSG fishing essentials. I'm thinking of maybe doing a whole series on that. And what I'm going to cover today specifically is whatever is in my bag. And that is my backpack that I bring to work with me. Alright, so let me grab that backpack real quick. Alright, so this is my backpack. I bring it to work with me every day. I'm sure plenty of you have seen this backpack before. There's nothing special about it. It's not even a branded backpack. It's just a backpack that I picked up from Queensway Shopping Centre. I can't even remember how much it costs. I bought 2 of them in the exact same color, and because I figured that I use it so often, eventually one would wear out, right? And it looks like I was right because I'm on the second one, and this one is already wearing out. It seems to be a 1 year, 1 bag kind of thing, or maybe even less, 8 months, 1 bag, so it's about time I bought another one. So those of you who've been following my channel for a while, you know that I tend to bring fishing equipment, fishing tackle with me everywhere I go. I like to ensure that, in the middle of the day, with the way my job works and my schedule, if I ever get the itch to fish, if I get maybe a 2-3 hour break in the middle of the day, I wouldn't miss a fishing session. Excuse me. I wouldn't miss a fishing session, a chance to fish. So that's really why I'm so big on telescopic rods. And And I'll get a little bit into that later, why I choose to use telescopic rods over travel rods that are 3 or 4 piece. I'll go into that a bit later. But first and foremost, so what's in my bag? Okay, so of course this is just going to be the fishing stuff that's in my bag. I do have work stuff that I put in here as well, but they're not in the bag at the moment. So I've got my lid gripper and my pliers. Can't go anywhere without them. Got a telescopic rod. This is just an example. I have many different telescopic rods, and depending on where I'm working or what area I predict I'll be fishing, I may bring a different telescopic rod with me, or I might even bring 2. So yeah, I can fit up to 3 telescopic rods in this bag. You can see the size there. Plenty of room to fit multiple telescopic rods. So that's my rod. I have, of course, the GoPro. And this is my soft plastic box. This is my lure box, right? And the lure box, the hard body or the lure box itself, it really depends on what kind of fishing I'm planning to do for the day. Like as you can see right here, as written on the box, large PBs, 12 to 42 gram lures. So these are all the big lures that I would use in places like Kallang and stuff. You know, when I'm hunting, especially when I'm hunting spawning pairs. Yeah, the bigger the stuff you throw at them, the better. It gets much more aggression if you throw big stuff at them. So yeah, behind me I have, this is my pandan box. I know it kind of rubbed off here, but this is the box that I bring to pandan. As you can see, almost everything in there is either a mid diver or a crank. And this is my Toman box. So really I have a box for everything. It really depends on what I intend to do for the day, but I do not leave home without this box, because this box contains all the soft plastics I need for virtually anywhere that I go. So over here we have the box with all my spare hooks, my split rings, my snaps, whatever you, some lead weights and stuff. Yep. This another important little box here. Now these are my spare soft plastics, or my go-to soft plastics. They're whatever kind of soft plastics I have in my bag generally are what I happen to be using at the moment. So this changes from time to time depending on what I'm doing. This never changes though. Okay, other than that, I have my standard issue Eddie Bauer rain jacket. I have 2 of these. One's in my fishing day bag. This is my work day bag. You know, so I have 2 of these. Each bag gets its own rain jacket. What I like about this is the brand is Eddie Bauer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I had never heard of it until I went to Canada, and I bought one of these, and I was so impressed that I bought another one. What I like about this jacket is it's really thin, it's really light, and it's actually waterproof. And why that's important is because it's a rain jacket. I've had brands like, good brands like Columbia and stuff that had rated waterproof jackets, put them on, I get into a light shower, and next thing you know, I'm soaked inside. The water just goes right through. And I check and double check before I buy these jackets, and I make sure it's waterproof, not water resistant or water repellent. It's actually waterproof. And I've had other brands fail. Eddie Bauer has not failed me yet. Over here, just a few more things. These are my spare hooks. I've got the measuring tape to measure the fish, weighing scale, and my leaders. Typically, I carry one 12-pound, 10 or 12 pound spool, and one 20-pound spool. So yeah, I have multiple little spools of leader lying around in my various bags, so I don't have to keep switching, switching leaders into different bags. So each bag has its own arsenal of leaders. I mean, between 12 pounds and 20 pounds, you're pretty much covered all the fishing you can do in Singapore. If I do go for something like Toman, yeah, I would bring my heavier stuff, which is here 50, 60, 70 pound fluorocarbon. It really depends on what I'm doing, but generally I always have this in my bag. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much what's in my bag. So now I'm gonna talk more about telescopic rods, just for a bit. This is not gonna be like a rod review or anything. It's more of a general telescopic rods versus travel rod, other travel rods and stuff. Let me just pack this away real quick. Okay, so telescopic rods. Why do I use them? Well, the first reason should be pretty obvious. They fit into my bag. And some folks are like, why don't you just put it in your car? Well, for those of you who don't know, I don't drive. So yeah, I don't drive, and I work in a gym, which affords me the luxury of wearing dry fit all day long. I don't have to wear corporate attire. But there are things that still apply. I don't feel comfortable walking into my place of work carrying a fishing rod. This fits into my bag, so I can kind of stealth mode my tackle all in this bag here, and no one would be the wiser. So anyway, so what I have here is my Daiwa Triple B. This happens to be the 666 medium light bait casting model. So it's 6'6", 6 sections, hence the 666, and the model name is TMLRB. So this is rated for 6 to 14 pounds. What I have paired with it is my Scorpion. I do rotate my reel sometimes, but the one that I have paired on most often with this rod would be my Scorpion 1001 XT. Of course, as with all my reels in this platform, all my reels are heavily modified. Umea spool, finesse bearings, everything. Yeah, all my reels are modified. I have almost the whole collection. I have this one, I have the bigger one, I have the Curado E. You can see from the boxes, right? So I have the Curado E, the Chronarch E. So anyway, off topic already. Back to why telescopic rods? And why specifically the Triple B? Well, firstly, look how small this rod is. Okay, so this is a Daiwa Triple B. Just give you some perspective. This is a palm's molar, and this right here is a 4-piece major craft go emotion. Okay, you just look at I have the rods all lined up like that. Okay, look at the difference in length. These two rods are pretty much the same length when completely folded, and the Daiwa is just, look at that. It's like a good 4-5 inches shorter. So anyway, why telescopics over 4-piece rods? Well, pretty simple. Firstly, 4-piece rods don't go that small because the length of a rod when folded or retracted is directly proportionate to how long the rod is when you fully extend it, and I don't like using rods that are shorter than 6.5 feet. I am 6 feet tall, 6 feet 2 actually. I'm 186 cm tall. So I prefer rods. If I could get my hands on a rod that was 7 feet and above for a given application, I would choose the 7-foot rod over a 6-foot something rod. So yeah, with longer rods, that means each section itself is also longer, and that's a problem. 4 pieces, 5-section telescopic, 6-section telescopic. So the more sections, the shorter each section is, and that's the reason why this rod is so much shorter than everything else. Now another reason why I prefer telescopic rods over, and this is a big reason, another reason why I find telescopics better than 4-piece rods is because when you have a telescopic rod, this is the entire package right here. See that? That's it. That's it. Put the case on, you put the wheel cover on, that's it. When you have a 4-piece rod, you're going to need to put it in its carrying case because you can't have loose pieces rolling around. And frankly, strapping all the pieces together with a Velcro, that's just an accident waiting to happen. You know, I guess you could do the same thing and put this into this if it fits, you know. But this is a segue into my next most important reason. You have to de-rig the rod just to keep it. You don't have to de-rig a 2-piece rod because it's only 2 pieces, but you would have to de-rig a 4-piece rod. Can you get away without de-rigging it? Yes, you can. But you're going to be spending so much time just packing it away with the line on it that you might as well be de-rigging it. So, why do I use telescopics over 4-piece travel, 3 or 4-piece travel rods? First reason, it packs shorter. Second reason, it packs smaller. And the third reason, I don't have to de-rig when I keep the rod. And it's not just about de-rigging when you keep the rod either. It's also about having to rig up when you start fishing. You know, I'm sure some of you who have fished with me on weekdays and stuff like that, you've met me on days where I'm using my telescopic rods. Some of you have seen firsthand how efficient having a telescopic rod is. You know, I've had people fish with me and, you know, we agree to meet at a certain spot and they're there all rigged up, and then here I come just with my backpack, nothing is out. They turn away for a few seconds, they turn back, the rod's out, lure snapped on, I'm ready to go. That's how fast everything can be set up with a telescopic rod. It's pretty much like carrying a 2-piece rod that's already rigged up. All you need to do is unstrap, put the 2 pieces in, snap on a lure. Everything is there, done. Exactly the same as the telescopic right here. You see that? It's rigged up. I don't know if you guys can just see. Yep, it's rigged up. You see the line goes through here, snap is right here. All I need to do is free spool it, extend it, line up all the guides, and I'm done. I'm good to go. So you can't do that with a 4-piece travel rod. Now, a lot of folks also ask me, are telescopic rods fragile? There's this stigma surrounding telescopic rods that they are more fragile than regular 1 or 2-piece rods. Now first, let me get this out of the way. A 1-piece rod is always going to be the most durable. The less pieces, the more durable it is. Now the reason why telescopic rods have this stigma is because for the longest time, there haven't been many well-made telescopic rods. Telescopic rods were always an afterthought. Oh, you know, it's better to have a shitty foldable rod with you than no rod, right? And only in recent times have they started taking this telescopic thing seriously and come out with seriously good telescopic rods like the Daiwa Triple B and the Palms Mola, the Jackson, the Basta. I always have problems saying the name of that rod on camera, knowing this will be on YouTube. I hope I don't get flagged for this. But it's the Jackson Bastard. That's the actual name of the rod, right? The actual name is Bastard. So the Jackson Bastard is an option for the lighter side of things. The Daiwa goes, the lightest the Daiwa gets for BC reels is 6 to 14 pounds. The lightest Palms goes is 8 to 16. And Jackson is a max of 10 pounds, I think. Yes, a max of 10 pounds. So that's the lightest you can get for BC telescopic rods, which is more than enough for at least for my typical BFS or ultralight BC use anyway. So yeah, efficiency, that's why I use telescopic rods. So anyway, that's pretty much it for my my workday bag. And you know, like I said before, I'm looking to make this into a series. You know, talk about my workday bag, talk about my fishing day bag, talk about specific tackle that I use, and hopefully more fishing videos. You know, I get that seeing so many pandan videos can put some folks off. You know, but I hope I can make it interesting enough. But unfortunately, it seems like pandan's going to be a pretty common occurrence, at least for the next few months. I'm a little bit busy, and I'm especially busy on the west side of Singapore. So going anywhere else, I mean, beyond Pandan, where there's Bedok, there's Kallang, you know. Good news is I hear the PBs are coming, the tennies are coming back to Kallang. It's a bit early, to be honest. You kind of expect them to come back in kind of Chinese New Year period, but looking at catch reports, they seem to be slowly coming back. So maybe the next fishing video I'll have will be on Kallang. But for now, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Share my videos with your friends. If you learned something, subscribe if you haven't, and catch you guys in the next video. Tight lines, guys.